Village Board meeting to order. Would you please stand and hear the Pledge of Allegiance to be led by Mr. Trustee Ron Stapleton.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, can we have a roll call, please?
Yes, this evening we'll be starting with Trustee McClafferty.
Here.
Snigowski.
Here.
Stapleton.
Here.
Blatzer. Here. Kwasniewski.
Here.
Maher.
Here. Okay, great. All right, next up, our consent agenda. First up, we have the approval of minutes for the September 22nd Strategic Planning Session meeting, along with the minutes for the October 16, 2017 Village Board meeting. In addition, approval of disbursements, an ordinance amending the Lamont Municipal Code, Chapter 5.04, Section 5.04080, which is our alcoholic beverages, increasing the number of Class A3 liquor licenses. And lastly, a resolution approving the license agreement with the Franciscan Sisters of Chicago for the placement of an outdoor warning siren. I need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion by Trustee Blatzer, seconded by Trustee Motzer. Any questions? Roll call, please.
McClafferty.
Yes.
Snigowski.
Yes.
Stapleton.
Yes.
Blatzer.
Yes.
Kwasniewski.
Yes.
Maher.
Okay, great. All right, next up is the mayor's report. Very limited mayor's report tonight. Again, just reminding everyone the upcoming events for our Lamonster Days. On October 26th, this has been rescheduled to the 26th. We have the Movie in the Park, sponsored by the Lamont Park District. On October 27th, we have the Haunted Central. That's presented by the Lamont Brown Barrett Combined School District 113A, along with the Educational Foundation, Hope and Friendship Foundation as well. And then on the 28th, we have our Halloween Hoedown, sponsored by the village, along with Haunted Central, again sponsored by the previously mentioned 113A and the foundations. And then on October 29th, we have a Howl-a-Ween at the Central Park Dog Park, sponsored by our township. And then on the 31st, again, trick or treat, everyone dress up. It's from 3 to 6:30 p.m. And we also have our Lamont Library trick or treat from 4 to 6 p.m. as well. So that is on the agenda for the Halloween this week. Next, we're going to move to audience participation. Do we have anyone in the audience that would like to get up and say a few words? No? We're good? Okay. All right. We will move on now to the clerk's report.
Thank you. The first item, if passed this evening, would be an ordinance, and it would be O60-61-17. And this is authorizing the issuance of general obligation refunding bonds, alternate revenue source, Series 2017A, general obligation refunding bonds, alternate revenue source, Series 2017B. And general obligation refunding bonds, waterworks and sewage alternate revenue source, Series 2017C, of the Village of Lamont and Cook, DuPage, and Will counties, Illinois, providing the details of such bonds for applicable alternate revenue sources and the levy of direct annual taxes as applicable, sufficient to pay the principal of and the interest on such bonds and related matters.
Okay. Need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Trustee Snigowski, seconded by Trustee McClafferty. Chris.
Thank you. This is the last step for our refunding of our bonds. 2017, they're going to be that. As I had said last week, that our approximately savings was going to be about $500,000, which is around 7%, which is higher than what our target is of 3%. This is the last step that the board will have to review. It's a parameters ordinance. After tonight, we will be making a presentation to the rating agencies, and then we'll be going out to market in end of October, beginning November, first week in November. Bob Vale has a presentation here for you, so I'm going to help him pass out the books, and he'll be short.
Let me jump in and reword something there. Whenever we're talking about taxes, I never want to talk about higher. So what Chris meant was our target is to save at least 3%, and we're going to be saving 7%. So it's a 7% savings is the point.
Sorry.
Good clarification.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
Okay, good evening. Good to see you again. I was here last week. The public hearing tonight, as Chris had mentioned, is the last step, which is the parameters ordinance, which basically sets the not-to-exceed numbers on all three series of the bonds. So what I wanted to do is kind of update you on the current market, as well as the refunding numbers and the timeline, which Chris briefly alluded to, and can answer any questions you might have. So the packet that you have in front of you is similar to the packet we went through in August, really when we kicked everything off and first started talking about the refundings. So pages 1 and 2 are just graphs showing where interest rates have been in the municipal bond market on a nationwide basis. Page 1 is a 10-year recap of where a 20-year bond issue, where the interest rate falls. Going back to 2007, basically, which is the first bond issue we're looking at refunding when the village issued bonds in 07. That's on the far left-hand side of the page. On the right is where interest rates were as of last week. So you'll see there's been a decrease in rates. We're not at all-time lows, but we're still pretty darn close, and that's really why this makes sense from a refinancing standpoint. Page 2 is that same graph. Just to give a little bit more perspective, we went back 40 years to 1977. We were at 77, interest rates jumping up in the 80s. Where we are today just gives you a little bit more of a perspective of where our rates are today and where they've been historically. So still extremely low. Page 3. This page actually didn't change from our August presentation, but this is all the outstanding debt of the building. So I've shown here the principal payments on all of the bond issues. You'll see at the top, for example, the first one, GO-ARS, which is alternate revenue source, 2007. Going all the way over to the right, 2015C, which was the last bond issue that the village issued, which was also a refunding issue back in 2015. The first 5 columns, 07, 07A, 08, SSA 2009 bonds, and the 2010 bonds are all the issues that we're looking at refinancing. You'll see where those current payments are, and then the net interest cost, which is basically the net interest rate remaining on those bonds. Kind of hard to see, I'm sorry it's small, but try to get it all on one page. You'll see, for example, 2007 currently has a rate of 4.18%. And going across, 4.13, 4.1, SSA, which is 5.76, and 4.41%. So just keep those in mind as we go through these numbers. Those are currently what the interest rates are on those bonds, and those are the ones we're looking at refinancing and locking in a much lower rate. We turn to page 4. This is the first bond issue we're looking at refinancing. These are the 07A bonds. See, it's set up 2 boxes. Current amortization, that's current payments of the village. Second box after the refunding, what the projected savings would be, and the new payments after refunding based on market as of today. You'll see that net interest cost, 4.13%. If we could lock it in today, it would be about 2.43%. So that net savings is about $240,000 just on that issue. So that's the first bond issue we're looking at. present value savings at the bottom, 7.59%. So this is what Chris alluded to, the village having a target of above 3%. So that's the other rate. Page 5, this is the 07 bond issue. We've actually already refinanced part of this issue back in 2015. But these are the remaining portions that we hadn't refinanced. You'll see there's still 4.18% in rate left on those bonds. It's a shorter maturity, it only goes out 5 years. We could lower that rate to about 2%. Page 6, 08 bonds, police station bonds. These go out further, current rate of 4.11%. Knock that rate down to just under 3%. That savings is approximately $133,000. Net present value savings of almost 8%, 7.9%. And then the 2010 bonds, page 7, 4.33%. Up to fiscal year 2030, that rate could come down to about 2.89%, savings of about 5.35%. And then the last issue, which is the SSA bonds on page 8. Currently 5.55%. That rate could go to 2.23%. Savings of about 4.3% at present value. So combined, all of that together, the net savings on page 9 is shown every issue combined with the payments. Savings would be about $513,000. That net rate, if you combine everything together, is just over 2.5%, about 2.57%. Net present value is 6.64%. So that's net of all costs. We're not changing any of the terms of the bond issues. They're all the same maturities. Really what we're doing is just refinancing it with a new interest rate, same security, and just basically taking advantage of low interest rates. As of today, with these bonds being callable or near callable, that's how we're able to provide this opportunity. Chris had mentioned the timeline, which is page 10. You'll see here, I've crossed out everything we've done so far, which is that first column. We're here tonight in yellow. This is the last board action that needs to take place for the parameters bond ordinance. We're going to be having the rating call this Thursday with Moody's. We'll be getting the rating back next week. And then we'll finalize the official statement and go out to market that week of the 6th. So the first week in November. And approximately Thursday, November 9th is when we're going to lock in the interest rate. So as of that time, we'll have the bonds sold. Investors will then give us pricing on the new issue. We'll lock in the bonds, and then we'll close right after Thanksgiving. That's kind of where we're at.
Great, Bob. Appreciate it.
Questions?
Any questions for Bob? And again, just to reiterate what Bob said, this is similar to refinancing our house, right? We have 5 bonds that we're refinancing, average 4 to 5%. We're going to get them down to 2 to 3% just because of market conditions. We're not taking on any new debt. This refinancing is going to save us approximately $500,000 in the long haul.
Right. And also, John, back to what we were talking about a little bit earlier, it's our policy, you know, there are fees associated with this, so it's our policy that if we can't save at least 3%, then it's not worth pursuing, and that's what Chris was alluding to earlier. In all cases here, you saw that the net is going to be 7% savings, so that's why we're moving forward with this.
Good point, good point. Okay, thanks again, Bob, appreciate it. Thanks, Chris. All right, any other comments, questions? Okay, roll call, please.
McClafferty?
Yes.
Snegowski?
Yes.
Stapleton?
Yes.
Blatzer?
Yes.
Kwasniewski?
Yes.
Maher?
Great, motion approved.
The next item would be a resolution, R-57-17, and this is objecting to the conditional use application described in the DuPage County Zoning Board of Appeals zoning petition Z17-028 involving certain real estate real property located at 9900 South Route 83, Lamont, Illinois. And that's the Loring Construction Company.
Okay. Need a motion to approve?
So moved.
Okay, motion by trustee Maher, seconded by trustee Kwasniewski. As far as this specific issue, we heard from several subdivisions. In fact, we've had a couple of subdivisions reach out wanting to make sure that they're heard via petitions. And we received several, I believe hundreds of signatures objecting to this. This is in support of their objection. From our standpoint, again, this is not in Cook County. This is in DuPage County. It is not going into any incorporated area. It is an unincorporated DuPage Township. We have not seen any plans. You know, again, it's not I believe Burr Ridge is the closest municipality. I believe they are objecting as well. So it is not being incorporated. And again, what we're doing tonight is basically in support of that. So with that being said, any other questions or comments regarding the asphalt plant to be put in unincorporated DuPage? Okay, roll call, please.
McClafferty?
Yes.
Snagowski?
I'm going to abstain to avoid any appearance of any conflict of interest.
Stapleton?
Yes.
Blatzer?
Yes.
Kwasniewski?
Yes.
Maher?
Yes.
Okay, motion approved. Okay, next up, our village attorney report. Anything, Andrew?
Mr. Mayor.
Okay. All right, George, our administrator, is not with us tonight. He's getting some training, so he's off the hook. Board reports.
I have one. I just, at this time of the year, I'd like to make sure that we recognize both our administrator and Chris, our director of finance, in putting together the budget that we receive. And I want to acknowledge that we have received 2 certificates of award. Again, Chris, on your behalf, thank you very much. These are 10 years in the running for excellence in financial reporting, and 3 years in the running on Distinguished Budget Presentation Award. I think it's a compliment to you guys, and thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Chris. Great job. Any other board? Okay. Staff reports. Dan, do you have anything for us?
I have the tip of the month.
Okay,
forward
tip of the
to it.
month.
Just one?
Meantime, only one. As you said earlier, Mayor, I'd like to advise those who are watching that Trick or Treat is on October 31st on Tuesday from 3 to 6:30. I'd like them all to be vigilant as they drive through town or walk through town, as some of our children may be running into the streets trying to get to that next house. Also, to be careful backing. Motorists, when they're backing up, they back across sidewalks. There will be plenty of children out between 3 and 6:30, so we certainly want them to be vigilant in watching where they're backing. You know, if they have this heightened awareness, you know, they might prevent a tragic incident from occurring during those times, and during a lot of the other events that we have through town here also. And for those who are trick-or-treating, you know, please use all the crosswalks to cross the street. Be safe, travel with an adult, and use the sidewalks as you're traveling from house to house, just to avoid injury by stumbling across the lawns or possibly landscaping. And lastly, please have an adult view all of their candy prior to consumption. If anything is found that's suspicious in nature, please contact the Lamont Police Department immediately so that we can take care of those matters. But on another note, we will have the Lamont Police Department haunted squad car out in several of the neighborhoods. So that squad will be driven by Chief Mayton, and he will be handing out goodies from the Lamont Police Department. So please, if you get a chance, make sure you stop him and get some treats from him. So, but everybody have a safe and happy holiday on Halloween.
All right. Thanks, Dan. All right. All right, moving on. Any unfinished or new business? We will be heading into executive session. I do not believe we should have any action after this executive session. Again, we will open the doors just to clarify after executive sessions if there is anything to make a decision on. So with that being said, executive session discussion under Chapter 5 ILCS. We will be moving to that now. And again, afterwards, we will open the doors to adjourn the meeting. Thank you. We're gonna
Okay.
have
Okay. Are we need a motion to go into executive session?
So move. Second.
Okay, Stapleton. And Snagowski, who seconded it? Did you? Okay.
Do you have to specify what it is, or?
And we need a voice vote, I believe.
Well, we need to specify the section number, so if we are going under real estate, then just, so the
Litigation,
record's
real
clear, it's
estate.
5 ILCS 2C5 real estate.
And pardon me, what was the last part after the S?
5 ILCS 2C5.
5 ILCS
Yeah.
2C5.
Okay. Got it. Okay, and then we need a voice vote to go in.
I need a motion? Okay.
Yeah, we had the motion, okay.
Okay.
All right, we're good.
Aye.
All right, all in favor? Okay, motion passes.
Okay,
Okay,
all right.
thank you.
I'll go get my, I didn't know we were having one. I'll go get my
Recording.
white paper. Oh, and then